What's up YouTube, Dale here from Zephyr, and today I am bringing you an anime Supreme Kings version of Evil Heroes. So, the reason I'm calling it anime is it is technically not a 100% evil hero deck. It does not involve any side deck engine, so it doesn't involve like Nibiru's, Ash Blossoms, Hand Traps or anything like that. It is all based off of the anime list, which means there is no Vions, there is no increases, there's no Vision heroes, there's no Destiny heroes. It is as evil hero as you can possibly get. So the reason I call it an anime style deck is this is one of the decks that you would put together if you and your friends play anime battles, which basically go, right, it's Yugi's Dark Magician, Kaiba's Blue Eyes, Jaden's Elemental Heroes, Jaden's Neo-Spacian Heroes, or of course Supreme King's Evil Heroes. So it involves all of the new cards. It's cards that the Evil Heroes would be utilizing in the anime as if they were here today. So, with all of that out of the way, I'm going to take you through the profile, explain what we've got, show you why we've got it, and then kind of talk about the ratios and what works with the deck. It obviously isn't going to be as explosive as a normal elemental hero or a normal hero style deck, but this is one of the ones for the fans of you out there that wanted to see either a pure evil hero deck or as pure as you could possibly get. So with all of that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more upcoming content. So starting off with the Evil Heroes, we are playing triple Evil Hero Adusted Gold. Now this one, of course, is going to be the most cornerstone of the entire Evil Hero strategy. Now, as I have made this as anime accurate as possible, there is no Stratos, which means there is no Stratos to search this out. The only elemental hero monsters we are using are those that are specifically listed on Evil Hero Fusion monsters, because you're going to need them to make the Evil Hero Fusions, otherwise you just can't use them. Of course, you could use Dead End Prison to replace the names, but when you have a fusion monster that requires two specific ones, something like Sparkman and of course Clayman, you're gonna need those monsters because Dead End can only replace one of the names. So being able to utilize triple Evil Hero Adusted Gold is going to be so important because more times than not in your normal combo you would go normal summon Stratos or Hero lives into Stratos, activate Adusted Gold, activate Stratos, search out Adusted Gold, grab you any of your Evil Hero spells. So you need to max out on this because you want to be seeing it in your hand. The other one that we're also going to max out on is the Evil Hero Sinister Necrom, as again, without kind of direct access to other ways of being able to get this to the graveyard with stuff like Vision Hero Faris, getting it out of the hand, and then of course Vision Hero Vion to send it from deck to the grave. You need more ways to actually hard see this, to use it as fusion material in your hand, to obviously get it to the graveyard with stuff like Foolish Burial and all of your other Evil Hero monsters. So maxing out on this is not the end of the world. You can cut it down to 2 if you want to, but the idea is you get to banish it from the graveyard to special an Evil Hero monster from the hand or deck, and that's just how you're going to be able to circle into your other Evil Hero monsters, stuff like Dead End Prison, and of course the one that I personally really like right now is the Infernal Rider. Then of course we are playing triple Infernal Prodigy. Now the reason we're playing 3 of this one is if you control no monsters you get to special it from the hand in face out attack position, and then if you tribute this card for a tribute summon of an elemental hero monster, Destiny hero or an evil hero monster, you draw 1 card during the end phase. So the idea is this is a free evil hero summon that gives you tribute fodder should you hard open up something like a Necrom, should you hard open up something like the Evil Hero Malicious Edge as well. It gives you more ways to be able to get those cards out of your hand and get them on the board into rotation. We've then got 2 of the Evil Hero Dead End Prison. Obviously, it's a little bit more important in the Evil Hero version, as you're going to want to be able to cycle around to this as much as you possibly can. We've then got 2 Evil Hero Infernal Gainer. This is probably like the least effective one, and I'm hoping that we're going to get a retrain of this card in the future, as it's like the best normal summon or like the best starter for Evil Heroes, but it's a lot slower. And what I mean by that is during the main phase 1, you get to banish this card, then target a theme monster you control, so it needs you to already have a theme monster to do so. So then that target can make up a second attack during each battle phase, and then during your second standby phase, after this effect was activated, you special summon this banished card into attack. So it's a lot slower, it's definitely more anime themed than it is anything else. It's one of the cards you would cut completely, and that's where your Stratos comes into play. But like I said, I've tried to stay within the realms of anime-esque, and as far as I'm aware, Supreme King never used or was never able to use Stratos. Then for the other Evil Heroes, we're playing the 1 Infernal Rider, the 1 Toxic Bubble Man, and the 1 Malicious Edge. Now, obviously, what I mean by this is before everyone goes, well, hang on a minute, you didn't have Evil Hero Toxic Bubble. The idea is that it's playing cards that are now modernized. You're basically trying to keep it as pure as an Evil Hero deck as you possibly can, which is exactly what I've tried to do. So you're playing one of each of those. Then, of course, we do have the amazing Evil Assault. So you discard a card to take a level 4 or lower Evil Hero, and this is going to be even more important that you get to discard the card, because that's how you're going to get your big Evil Hero monsters out of your hand into the graveyard, mainly Necrom. So that's why you need to be able to utilize doubling up cards like this. We've then got 2 Dark Fusion and 2 Dark Calling. Now the reason we've gone for as many of these and 2 Dark Contact is for the pure fact that, again, you don't really have easily accessible ways to get to normal polymerization. Most of your fusion monsters, if not all of your fusion monsters, need to be summoned with Dark Contact, so or Dark Fusion, which is why, of course, we are playing 6 versions of them. Yes, of course, they are all searchable, but especially with Dark Contract, you want to make sure you're not directly searching them out unless you specifically have to, or the card can only specifically search that card out. You want to be making sure you're finding other routes and hard opening them so you can get access to the other Dark Contacts, Dark Fusions that you need. We're then playing the 1 Evil Mind. So if you try a Fiend monster, activate one of these effects based on the number of monsters your opponent's graveyard. They've got 1 or more, you draw a card. If they've got 4 or more, you add a hero monster or a Dark Fusion from your deck to the hand. And if they have 10 or more, you get to add a polymerization spell or a fusion spell card from your deck to the hand. Now, the reason it's very important that you get to add a polymerization spell or a fusion spell is it means you can add some of your other cards. Yes, of course, you can search for a normal poly, but the idea is you want to be utilizing your Dark Contacts for all of that, because you do need to have a specific card in play, whether it be Supreme King's Castle or the floating effect of the Infernal Rider, to use other poly cards rather than Dark Contact to make your fusion monsters. We're playing the 1 Supreme King's Castle. You can play more of it if you want to, but it is searchable off of the back of Dark Contact. So you can fusion summon fusion monsters that must be special summoned with Dark Fusion with effects other than Dark Fusion, which is really important, because then that does mean if you do go down the poly route with Super Poly as well, you've got that other option. Then, once per turn during damage calculation, if your Fiend monster battles an opponent's monster, you get to send an Evil Hero monster from the deck or extra deck to the graveyard. Your monster gains attack equal to that level of that monster sent to the graveyard times 200. You can only use until the end of this turn, even if this card leaves the field. And the last Evil Hero-esque card we are playing is the 1 Dark Supremacy. Then for the Elemental Heroes, now keep in mind these are the evil versions of Sparkman, Burstinatrix, and Avian, so in my opinion, they fall within the acceptable viability of this style of deck. The only one that doesn't have like evil counterparts that you still need to use because they're listed on Evil Hero monsters, go figure, is of course Clayman and of course Wildheart alongside Neos. Now, there's a little bit of a loophole in this one that you do kind of ideally want to be playing the extra hero, Infernal Devicer, which in my opinion looks like an evil hero. It's a fiend. It might as well be an evil hero. So that allows you to search out 2 of these, which then opens up the door to all of your fusion monsters, which you'll see when we get to them. Because you have the space and you have access to these elemental heroes, we do play A Hero Lives, of course Reinforcement of the Army, Foolish Burial, and then the 1 Super Poly. Now, if you're trying to make it 100% evil hero, unfortunately, some of the cards you play just can't be played. And what I mean by that is you do have fusion monsters that list Clayman, Sparkman, Avion, and of course Burstinatrix. But as you can see by the artworks and obviously off the back of the anime, if you've watched them, they all get corrupted by the Supreme King. So that's kind of where you get those options from. Of course, if you are dedicated, I only want 100%, every single card in my deck needs to be evil hero related, then by all means you'd swap out. Your extra deck would become a lot thinner, and you'd probably be tripling up on some of your evil hero monsters. So moving into the extra deck, of course, we do play the 1 Evil Hero Neos Lord. Unfortunately, this needs Elemental Hero Neos or a fusion monster that mentions it, and because we're not going down the Infernal Flame, or we're not going down that particular route because it's technically an Elemental, not a Neos, we've kind of been able to bypass that, and you do need hard summon of Neos, or the hard access to Neos. We've then, of course, got 2 Evil Hero Malicious Bane. This is your aggressor. This is like your best card in the extra deck, especially when you're playing this particular type of hybrid, as you have very easy access to any Evil Hero monster, and then level 5 or higher monsters are also very easy to come by. We've then got 2 of the Evil Hero Darkest Night. I actually quite like this one in this particular version, which is why you can afford to double it up. It's just one of the more easily accessible Evil Hero monsters from the extra deck because it requires a Fiend and a Warrior, whereas everything else requires like named options. And what I mean by that is the Inferno Wing Backfire requires Avion and then or Burstinatrix plus a hero monster. Yes, there are ways where you can utilize one of them because either Avion or Burstinatrix can become the Dead End Prison. But then when you start getting into stuff like your Evil Hero Wild Cyclone, this requires Avion and Wildheart. So you need to have one or the other plus the Dead End Prison, or of course you have both of them, which is why you're still playing them. You've got Evil Hero Dark Gaia. This gets a little bit trickier because it does specifically require a rock monster, so you need to make sure that you are utilizing your rocks where at all possible, and that's where your Evil Hero Dead End Prison comes into play, as this will be your rock monster, and then everything else will be your fiends. Of course, you can use Nibiru as your hand trap of choice, and that will give you an option to kind of play around with it as well. But then you're adding in Nibiru, which, in my opinion, isn't an Evil Hero card, so you've got to be very, very careful. And then we do play the 1 Infernal Wing. You can double up and play Backfire if you want to, but again, I kind of thought to keep it Evil Hero themed and try and provide as many variants as possible. So this requires Avion and Burstinatrix, so again, you can reveal this off of the back of the Devicer and then get both of those cards to the hand. You've got Infernal Sniper, which requires Clayman and Burstinatrix. Again, evil hero that lists Clayman and Burstinatrix, so they fall within the evil hero realms. The evil hero Lightning Golem requires Sparkman and Clayman. And then Malicious Edge requires Malicious Edge plus a level 5 or higher theme type. So again, very easily accessible. And then the exceptions to the rule, and the reason I class them as exceptions to the rule is technically they are evil hero cards, or look like evil hero cards. I would expect Supreme King to play them. If you are opposed to these at all, by all means cut them out. You just double up some of these. It will make your life a little bit harder, but if that's the route you want to go down, by all means. But the idea is we are playing the extra heroes of Wonder Driver, Infernal Devicer, probably the most evil hero-esque card, and then of course the Dread Decimator. So these are completely optional. You can play a second Infernal Devicer, which would be one that I would advise you to consider if you're trying to build this deck together and make them all fiends. The Wonder Driver just gives you that ability to loop some of your fusion spells back, which makes life a little bit easier for you. And the Decimator just makes all of the hero monsters it points to become stronger, which is really important. And then of course this one gets piercing with hero monsters in the graveyard with different names. So very, very important to give you a bit more of an aggressive out. Also very important to start using stuff like Infernal Devicer to get into Decimator or Wonder Driver vice versa, as these just require hero monsters. So they are generic bridges, but like I said at the start, if you are opposed to playing anything that is not an evil hero, cut them out. But personally, I feel that if Supreme King was to play evil heroes in now, and they don't want to be playing hand traps, you'd definitely be including these cards in them, in my opinion. And that is pretty much it for the profile. Now, I'm not saying this is the best version of the deck ever. I've already told you at the start of the video that I did that in a previous version. That is the best version. Like, not that exact list, but the version of being able to use increases, Vions, like Vision heroes, Elemental heroes, like a mix of all the heroes, and then dominate with as many of the evil hero cards as possible is the best way to do it. This is one for those that just want an evil hero deck that is going to be playing it more for fun rather than full-on competitive value. This is the best option for you to kind of give you the best access to those evil hero cards and play homage to the Supreme King in GX as well. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Any questions, by all means, please put in the comments down below. I will be more than happy to answer them as always. But for now, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.